Good day, everybody. This is Marius Landman here from Python Signals. We are based in Australia, in Brisbane, and we are coming to you now. It's about 4 o'clock exactly in the afternoon. And Wendy, are you there? And how are you doing? We are just making sure that everybody's online. And are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, Wendy, we can hear you
Awesome.
perfectly.
I'm here.
Okay, great. So Wendy, you can hear me. Everything is good?
Everything is good. I
Okay,
think
cool.
we're all ready to go.
Awesome.
Thank
you
you
just
for,
want to mute yourself?
Yes, thank you for coming on and doing this for us. Thank you. Bye.
Okay, awesome.
Hello.
Guys, we've got something really interesting here in store for you. And most of the people that are actually online here, I just want to make it very clear that this presentation here is to give you an idea what Python Signals can do for you. What is the potential of Python Signals, how we can help you make money, and what could have happened in your crypto portfolio if you listen to our call on 15 December 2018, approximately about 12 months ago. Now, most of you would by now have access to your back office. And you can see here that I am now logged into my own account. You can see here that's me, Marius Landman. And obviously, if you look there at my income, you'll see that my income shows 0, my payout balance, but it's because I don't build a business. I'm not in competition with you. I'm here to help you do two things. Number one, you can build a business by referring people to Python Signals so you can make some extra money in that. Or you can simply just use our reports to make money and invest your cryptocurrencies in that way. So in this back office, you by now should be aware that if you go down, you'll see my account, your network. That means the people that you've told about the business, they will come in and you get rewarded for referring people to use our service. But very important there, see there's a thing called their blog. If you were to click on blog, what happens is that here is all the blog posts that we post. Now, the latest one was done between 14 and 15 December. I just made an update on Telegram this probably about 6 hours ago, where we said, where we give certain information and just keep people up to date with what's happening in the market. Now, I'm not going to go and click on that, but if you have access, you can simply go and click on that. You say continue reading, and you'll see the data that we give to our members, and you can use that data to your advantage. Now, the big thing here is if you were to look at Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies in general, the question is here, everybody wanted to buy here on the bottom when we were about 0.009 cents. Now, many people say to me, and they say, Marius, but I've missed the boat. And Bitcoin now, right there at the top, is now $7,000. I've missed it, but it's not the case. If you basically bought here on the bottom and you still kept all your Bitcoin, sure, you would have made a huge amount of money. But what is coming next in the crypto world is really something that you want to know. Now, we are not going today to go into what is coming next. Are we going to drop? Are we going to go up? If we go up, how high do we go? If we drop, how low do we go? We're not going to get into all those things. But what I want to do is to spend some time and show you what we have done in the past. Simply, you may not have yet decided to get into Python Signals, but I want to show you the importance of getting our data. Now, I'm going to go as far back here as June 2017. You can see here that on June 2017, there was a high point there. Then you will see here that there was another point here on September 2017. Now, we at Python Signals and myself are very famous for calling the high point of Bitcoin on 17 December 2017 at $20,000. Right at that point there, exactly at that point there, we told our subscribers to get out of the market because we are now on a high point, and we provided that data. If you go back, many of you or some of you may still have been subscribers at that point. And some of you might just want to subscribe again. So this presentation is for you. This presentation is not for people who are already in Python signals. I'm going to give certain information today, but we are not going to show where the market is going to go. That is unfortunately for our subscribers. I may give you a hint at the end of this presentation, so stay on board, and I'll give some information. Now, how about if you could come there, that bottom there, when Bitcoin was $7,000, and you could get a report that told you that sell your Bitcoin at 20,000 at the top. There's a video evidence, there's reports that we've done. Our members got out there right at the top. And during 2018, we almost called every single high and every single low point. This point here, right there at the bottom, when Bitcoin dropped into 6.6, we call that low. We call that high point there, that double top. We call that. And I can remember that distinctively, that we call that double top. Our members sold at the top. We came back here. This call here, from what I understand, and I remember this on 31 March 2018, one person in the world that have called the low. It was a scary time in the market. We call that low, exactly to the dollar. We call that low. We call this uptrend there. And that uptrend there, again, at $11,000, we call that high. Again, some sort of a double top. We sold, we came right down here to the bottom, bought back, and we call this high point here. Many of you that were trading in 2018 can remember that this was a scary time. Nobody knew what the market was going to do. Now, at this point here, see this sideways action? We went sideways for about 90 days. Similar to what is happened in the last 4 months. Sideways, completely sideways. And right at that top there, the market dropped like a rock. Now, many of you may be subscribers or were subscribers at that point, but every single person in Python Signals that were a member, yeah, right at that point, on 15 December 2018, got our report. It's in the back office. You can go into the back office and you can see that report. What you do, you simply go here to your dashboard. You go and download that report. So that report is in the back office where you can see that we call the low. And at that low there, right at that point, we recommended that our subscribers get back into the market, and we recommended Litecoin at $22. Litecoin went up to $148. People that bought Litecoin made 500% gains. Now think about this now. If you invested, for example, I'm going to bring up the calculator here. If you bought on our recommendation there, and you, for example, bought, I'm just going to make it a small amount, let's say $2,000 worth of Litecoin. And we're going to say plus 500%. You would have made $12,000. Your profit, $10,000. This is crazy money. Now, the market went straight up, right up to that top. Here in June, July, we said that the market is going to come here to June, July. It's going to go up to $14,000. And remember, it's not that we call that low, that high point just there. Right here, at this point here, in January, February, March, at that bottom point, we said to our subscribers that the high point for Bitcoin is going to be this $14,000. Go back. There are video evidence. There's webinars that we've done every single week. We've done that. We've called that high point. We said we're going to get into 14,000. How valuable would that data have been for you if you came right down here in February, March, and you had the information that said that we're going to go up to $14,000 for a high point? What happened then? The market dropped. And these are all documented evidence. I'm not making these things up. It's in the back office. The videos are there, date stamped. You can't make a video and suddenly make it today and say that it's 3 months old. You can't do that. It's loaded on YouTube with a date. Now, we call this low here. See this spike here? That was a spike that we called from that bottom. And we said that from this bottom, Bitcoin is going to spike up to 10,500. And I'm going to zoom into that one. And that one is what we call, you've probably seen around on Twitter and all over social media, that this is called Catapult 1. There's going to be a Catapult 2. There's going to be a Catapult 3. This one is very small. Now, if you bought here on the bottom, you would have made $3,000 extra per Bitcoin. And then the market dropped, and this is where we are right now at this point. Now, many people here, now remember, we just made a new call. See there? We just made a new call, and we said that something is going to happen in Bitcoin. Now, if this data is important to you, look back at our history, look back at our calls. We've been pretty spot on. We haven't called every single high and every single low, but we have made every single trend call is 100% correct. And I'm willing to bet that the next trend call that I have made is going to be correct. Is this market going to spike upwards, or is this market going to drop further and then spike? If this data is important to you, this is what we do at Python Signals. We provide that data for you. Now, the market can only do two things, or three things rather, from this point. It can either go up, it can go sideways, or it can drop. Now, what if this is the low in Bitcoin? What if that is the low, and you buy Bitcoin now at $6,700, and the market suddenly goes up, and you double your money? What if that happens? However, what if the market drops down further, and then go up? We have the answer, and it's in our reports. So what we do is when you log in your back office, you should be, if you are a paying subscriber, you'll be able to see the blog. In this blog post, you simply click continue reading, and you'll be able to get the data of that report. Now, we also provide PDF reports in this form. You'll see this one, and I'm just going to give you an example here. This one is the one of 7 December 2019. It's a Litecoin and Bitcoin update. Now, I'm not going to show you all this information, but what I want to do is to show you something here. Recently, on 27 July 2019, I made a call and stated Litecoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, and many other coins tokens will drop into a psychological low. Now, remember this. What date is it today? It's almost Christmas 2019. It's almost that date. It's almost 6 months ago that I made this call on 27 July. Again, the videos are there, the documented evidence are there that I made that call. So on 27 July, I said that Litecoin is expected to drop from $93, it's going to drop into 53, and later on around the low of 49. Now remember this Litecoin drop that we had now into 39, we call that as well. I'm just talking about the long term. How nice would it have been if you were a member on 27 July and you took action and you knew that Litecoin is going to drop from 93 into 49? You would have sold there and bought on the bottom. Now Litecoin dropped towards $42. We were $7 off, but made this call 127 days in advance. Now we cannot find anybody who made a call this far in advance. The timeline was a bit off, and in subsequent updates, we notified our members each week not to look at the dates. Because remember, the dates are completely distorted. And it's distorted because of a little bit of manipulation in the market. And what people do, the people that manipulate cryptocurrencies do two things. They use date, the timeline, and price. And we explain to our members exactly how that's done. In the latest webinar, we also talk about the political situation in America that influences cryptocurrencies and how it's actually been influenced. We also talk about why Wall Street loves what's happening now and how Wall Street is actually taking advantage of you, the blue-collar worker, and advantage of me, and what you need to do to counteract what Wall Street is doing. How nice would it be if you knew what Wall Street is doing? We give you that data. I know Wall Street very well. We've got insiders that give us that information. We give you that information, and you keep it confidential. You use that to trade. Let me quickly carry on here. So the evidence there is the prediction was made on 27 July. There's a video released on 26 July, and it's also on blog post. I think about blog post number 100 or 99. You can go and have a look there. Now let's have a look at Ethereum. How about on 27 July, if you knew that Ethereum is going to drop into 119 and possibly could stop at Now remember, we said it could drop into 119 and possibly could stop at 130. What happened with Ethereum? Ethereum dropped into $132. We were $2 off. And remember, this was again done 127 days in advance. Okay? Now, we never gave a date and always stated, look at the patterns. Each chart indicated, do not follow the dates, follow the patterns. So Ethereum dropped into that low point. Let's have a look at Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin Cash, we said, will drop into as low as 186. Again, we made that call on 27 July. And in that call, I did a complete video where I told our members, and I said, look, guys, the market is going to move down. Nobody else knows this. Everybody thinks the market is going to move up. But I'm telling you now that June, July, August, September, we're going to go downwards. And what you need to do is to mentally prepare yourself. Everybody else is angry, they're annoyed, they don't know what's happening. But our members knew, and we mentally prepared ourselves for this drop downwards. This is why we're not fearful, we're not agitated. We know what happens in the market. We know why it's dropping now, and we know what comes further. We know if it's going to drop further lower, or we know if it's going to go upwards. This is what we do here at Python Signals. Now look what happened here with Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin Cash dropped into 192. We were off. We were only off by $6.24. Okay. Now let's have a look at XRP. XRP, we stated it will drop into 19 cents. XRP dropped exactly into the 19-cent range. Perfect spot on call. Digibyte, we said is going to drop into 0.006. Almost spot on with Digibyte. There are numerous other coins that we also predicted. Now remember this, we don't get everything 100% correct. Nobody in the world will have it always 100% correct. But I want you to have a look at this. In 2018, we made 518% gains. With one coin in 2019, if you bought it on the bottom there, only Litecoin, and you sold right at the top there, you would have made 500% gains. Now I'm going to make a statement here, and I want you to listen to that very carefully. If you want to make more than 500% gains in 2020, you get your subscription activated and start reading my reports from January 1 onwards. The small amount of money that you will pay in Python Signals will blow your profit away. You really need to get this data. So Wendy, with that, I just want to stop there. And if there's any questions, maybe we can answer about 5 or 6 questions. More than happy to answer them. Over to you, Wendy.
Okay, yes, everything is good. Does anybody have any questions for Marius that may be new to Python Signals? I'm looking in the chat now. Hold on.
I see the vault is here.
Yeah, morning, Marius.
And Tertius is also here.
Yeah, and remember,
Lots of people.
Yeah, just mute yourself when I talk, Wendy. So, Tertius, if there's any questions, Devald, if there are any questions, remember this webinar is just about new people that is in Python Signals. These are people that are already registered, but they just haven't taken the step to get into Python Signals. And look, guys, the market here, markets go up, it goes down, it goes up, a staggering, up, down, up, down, up, down the whole time. We made a specific call just there. We made one there, we made one there, okay? This was the catapult one. Markets came all the way down, and we have this little bit of a drop here today over the last day or two, exactly as per report number 136. In report number 136, we said that Bitcoin will drop down to about 7,300 the volt? Can't remember exactly now.
Correct, yes. Yeah, it was round about there.
7.3. So 7.3 would actually put you, let me just see. No, sorry, 6.3. That's correct. 6,300. So let me just put those coordinates in there. So that's
Sorry, I'm also still my first coffee.
yeah. So remember now, guys, is that going to be the low? Are we going to go slightly up and drop, or are we going to break out from here? And this is the data, just for the new people, that we provide at Python Signals. You really want to get hold of this data, especially going into January. You can either make a lot of money, you can lose a lot of money. Now remember, in a downtrend, when the market goes down, you make money as well. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Okay, now think about this. That's a good question. The question is, why do governments dislike cryptocurrencies? It's not really that governments dislike cryptocurrencies. We need to look at it from a different perspective. What is happening with governments all around the world? If we look at this chart here, remember here in 2018, you'll see when you go to Wikipedia that Wikipedia will tell you that cryptocurrencies or Bitcoin was designed in 2008, and that was the release date. Sorry, Wendy, just mute everybody here. Okay, now it was started in 2008. Now, Devald, I'm just going to make you a co-host as well, if you wouldn't mind, just to mute everybody, all the noises there.
No problem.
Now, let me see, Tertius. Is Tertius online too?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, I'll make Tertius a...
Yes, I am, Marius.
Okay, Tertius, you co-host as well. Thank you, Tertius. So guys, Bitcoin was released in 2008, but we have data that shows that Bitcoin was released or traded 9 months before it was released. In our opinion, Satoshi Nakamoto doesn't exist. It's a fake name made up. One of the reasons is here in Australia. Apparently here in 2010, they found Satoshi Nakamoto. What they did is they came down to this guy's house in Australia with 3 black helicopters. The entire military jumping down on his house, safeguarding every single area. Now remember, this is a nerd, a guy who writes software. Why did they really stage that big event? Now remember this, every single media outlet across the world was there. Fox News was there. CNN was there. CNBC was there. How did they know that that is going to happen? That was supposed to be a COVID operation. What did they do? They took the footage and they blasted it all around the world, and they said they caught Satoshi Nakamoto. All they did is to play you. What they did is to show that there is a Satoshi Nakamoto. There is no Satoshi Nakamoto. The entity that developed cryptocurrencies is the US government themselves. They created it. Now, it's not that the governments around the world are hating or disliking cryptos. It's just the opposite. They designed cryptocurrencies to be the new cryptocurrency for the entire world going forward. But what they did not realize, that in 2008, when it got released, it was supposed to go very slowly in the market, is that the whole world jumped onto it. And they had 7 million wallets created in a matter of 2-3 years. And it just started going on from there. And I think it went up to about 60 million wallets, Bitcoin and cryptocurrency wallets. And then the government got really spooked, because what happened is that people all around the world, people like you and me, started moving our money into cryptocurrencies. Did you know that the banks in America are in such deep trouble because many people are moving their money out of the banks into cryptocurrencies, that the government have just now secretly behind doors approved that the banks in America can get bailed out? This data is not yet even available on the internet, but my word, the word from my Wall Street insider, is that the banks have already been bailed out long before Christmas. The banks in America are not liquid. Now you can go and study a little bit about it. There's information where they say that they may bail out the banks. It's already been done, guys. The banks have been bailed out, part of QE4, quantitative easing number 4. The banks are in troubles. Now, you find that the banks, certain banks in South Africa, like First National Bank, banks in Australia, are stopping people from moving cash into cryptocurrencies. It's a way for the banks and the governments to protect themselves. Now, what the governments have found out now in the last year or two, they said we need to slow down cryptocurrencies up till we have regulation in place. Now, you will notice that just in the last month or two, they came out with AML, the anti-money laundering process. Now, it's been in works for years, but the AML, the anti-money laundering process, is simply just put in place to stop people from moving money into cryptocurrencies. If you move too much money into cryptos, they regard it as AML and they will block your account and stop your account until you give them all the information that they want, like your ID, where you live, your phone number, your kid's name, and everything. So they go for instead of a money grab, they go for information grab. Why? Because cryptocurrencies took off so fast that the governments all around the world, like Australia, New Zealand, Europe, England, America, they didn't coordinate this really well with the tax agencies. Tax agencies at this moment find it very difficult and struggle to track your cryptocurrency holdings. Think about it, how many people have not paid tax in cryptos? Millions and millions and millions of people. People don't declare it. There's no way for the government to search what you own. But guess what? Come January, February, March next year, this is why it's important that you need to get this data. When you fill in your next tax report, the governments are now going to force you, and you're going to have to declare your worldwide income in cryptos. Okay, so remember that. And so they're going to ask you, what is your crypto holdings? And you're going to say, I own $500,000 worth of cryptos. The government wants to know it. Now, there is a possibility, at least in Australia, that they are going to charge us maybe a 1%, 2%, or 3%, whether you make profit or not. You're going to have to pay a percentage tax back to the government. Now, the other thing that could result in a Bitcoin explosion or crypto explosion is the fact that next year, when you hold money privately in a bank, the bank is going to charge you, instead of giving you 1%, 2%, or 3%, they're now going to charge you 1%, 2%, or 3%. You will pay the bank to leave your cash in the bank. It's the dumbest thing that the banks have ever done. This will create money to go back into cryptocurrencies. Guess what? That's what the banks want you to do. That's what the governments want you to do, because now they can enforce the AML law. They want to create that database of who gets into cryptos. And remember this, long term, over the next 5, 10 to 15 years, the Rand, for example, in South Africa will disappear completely. We see this in our data. Give it a maximum, in my opinion, of about 12 years. Now, it's not going to disappear overnight, but it will become less used as they use cryptos a lot more. And think about this, guys, and I want to make this comment here as well in this prediction. South Africa will become one of the dominant countries to start using cryptocurrencies. This is all planned. It's going to start with the BRICS countries, between Brazil, Russia, India, China, and some other countries. You know, the countries that are in the BRICS nations. And Africa will become a country where cryptocurrencies will just simply take off. And this is what's going to push cryptocurrencies higher as well. So it's not that the governments are anti-Bitcoin. It's just that they are trying to hold up this stack of cards by getting everybody's data at this moment. And if you can, avoid giving the data out. Keep your stuff private and don't talk to other people what you have, what you own, what you do. This is another thing in Python signals, keep our data private. Don't give it to anybody. It's becoming a complicated system to invest in cryptos. And going forward, crypto investing is not going to be easier. We've said it in the beginning of this year. We said it's going to get very complicated. You're going to see that Litecoin will break away from Bitcoin. All coins will start doing their own thing. And yeah, so I don't want to give too much information on this specific webinar. But yeah, any other questions there, Wendy?
We had quite a few questions, Marius, about which reports, where's the reports, but in essence, we've answered them. Just go to the person that invited you to this, or follow the Telegram group if you are already a Python Signals member, and then where they can find it.
Yeah, thank you, Devalt. And that's very important, actually. When you log into your back office, if you see the blog there, then it means that you're a paying member. If you don't pay, obviously you won't see the blogs, okay? But this one here, we follow blog post number 136 at this moment. every week there's a live webinar. You can attend it live if you want. If you don't, there's a recording. You simply click on that.
Yeah.
I'm going to go and say continue. I hope it allows me in. Okay, it's asking for my password there, but nonetheless, when you click on that, you can log in, and there's going to be a video there. You click on the video, you watch the video. You can skip through it. Very important that you actually attend and watch those live webinars. It keeps the fear away. Okay. Any other questions, Gavin? There? But sorry, but the vault is 100% correct. Get back to the person that got you into Python Signals. You must get back to that person. Okay. Tertius.
Marius, I think there's a couple of folks on who've heard about what we're doing. Perhaps haven't even heard the name Python Signals before. Same thing, just get back to the person that invited you. They'll be able to give you information on how to get going.
Yes, exactly. And if you can't get hold of your sponsor or the person who told you about it, feel free to contact Tertius, feel free to contact the Vault, feel free to contact Wendy. You can contact us at the office as well, admin@pythonsignals.com. We will help you. We'll find out who your sponsor is. If your sponsor is not active, we will then maybe give you over to people that are on this call, because you need to plug into a system where you get that support from people like Tertius, De Walt, Wendy, and a whole bunch of other leaders on this call. I'm not mentioning any names as such. There's only a few names that I mentioned here.
TBC is on for French calls, please. TBC Cornel.
Yeah.
He's on today.
Cornel, you also here apparently from France. If there's any questions, feel free to answer it. And I just want to mention that if you are in France, you really have to plug into TBC Cornel. We've got a big team going in France. Okay, so there you are, Cornel. How are you doing, Cornel?
Yeah, very good, Marius. Very good evening to you. Here it's already in the morning. We are in the morning. A great call you are doing. So far, I don't have any specific question, but I'm just following up for my teams. Many of them are still sleeping at the moment. So I'll do the translation for them later on.
Thank you very much, Cornel. And guys, if you are, for example, let's say if you signed up in South Africa and you're from South Africa, but you've got a contact that you sponsored and they live in France, you can plug them into Cornel's system. The sponsor will still stay yours. Cornel's a great guy. He's really supporting Python Signals across the world. And this is what we do here. We are a community that work together. Python Signals does not belong to me. Although I started that with two other gentlemen, it doesn't belong to me. It's a community. Python Signals belong to the community. We are soon going to change the name Python Signals, which will happen next year, to a different name. But I want to let you know that the commissions that you make here, it's your commissions. And the reason we pay out a huge amount of commission, I can't remember the exact figure, but it's between 70 and 85%, somewhere in that range, depending on what level you are, how many people you've subscribed, and how many levels you get paid downwards. But think about this. We don't need all the money in Python Signals. Me as the person who started Python Signals, or Gavin, or Ijoki in Akaraya, our business partner in West Africa. What we do, we rather give you all or the most of the commissions. And think about this. In Python Signals, we don't manufacture a product, so we haven't got any shipping cost. We don't have fancy offices. I don't drive a fancy car. We don't pay CEO salaries. We want to put all the money in your pocket. If you make $100 by just referring somebody to Python Signals, that $100 can buy you at this moment about two Litecoin, maybe 2.5 Litecoins. Those Litecoins, if I give you the price that Litecoin is going to be in the next 18 to 24 months, it's staggering. You want to take your commissions that you make just by referring somebody and get that into the right cryptos. Very important, very important. So if you're new here to Python Signals, please get back to the person who invited you. Dear Tertius, anything there, Cornel?
Just the recording, Marius. People are asking the recording, will the recording be available? Is it going to be just in the back office or publicly available?
we can make it available, and we're not going to make it public available, but there will be a link. Unless, Devald, if you want me to make this public available, we can do it.
I think if the team members that's on the call will have access to it, so they can use some of it.
Yeah, I
Okay,
agree,
Tertius,
Marius.
yeah.
If we can use this recording to invite prospects to have them have a look at it and get back to us, that would be awesome. Thanks, Marius.
Okay, Tertius,
Yeah.
we will do that for you. And Tertius, Cornel, Devald, use this information as well. Cut out what you want. Create your own videos. Because remember this, here at Python Signals, we want you to step up as a leader. You are the leader. And we'll provide the data. You can make your own videos. There's no restriction on what you can do. The only restriction is don't give our personal data out in videos. You can make your own videos and create your own team. In the future, what I see what's happening here in Python Signals is that we are going to have people that are starting to make $1 million a year in Python Signals. We've already got people that got close to making about 40 to 50,000 US dollars a month. We believe that next year it's going to blow it out of the water. So when you create your own team, your own group, you can make a stunning amount of money. Feel free to make your own videos, create your own website, link it back to us, use our data. We want you to make money, guys. We don't want to take your money. I'm here about making money. We need to make insane money for everybody. And I really hope that in 2020 that we go through, that we can make people insane money. But you really need to get a hold of this data. So Tertius, if there's not any other calls, Devald, Cornel, Tertius, Wendy, then we'll just close the meeting off now.
Yeah, Marius, let me just use this opportunity to inform of the top leaders that every Saturday morning, which Australian time, that is 9 p.m. GMT, we have a translation of the webinar you offer every Friday morning. So if you have people struggling because they don't hear French, they don't understand what's going on, every Saturday Australian morning, which is 9 p.m. GMT, I personally translate the whole presentation in French.
Yeah, that's fantastic, Cornel. I've seen that, and I just got goosebumps the other day when I saw that. Thank you so much for doing that. Yes, it must take you a lot of time. But folks, This is the power of Python Signals. When you're in Europe, well, not just necessarily in France, if you are up in Africa, remember there's so many people up in North Africa that actually speaks French. It's crazy. Get hold of those people, plug them into the system. And whether you have got a business in Canada or America, South Africa, New Zealand, get your contacts to plug in with Cornel. And if you've got any other contacts in Australia, plug them into our system. We will help them. It's about supporting the entire community. We want thousands, millions of people to make a lot of money. And it's going to happen this year. Go ahead.
Just a quick one, Marius. Can I just interrupt quickly?
Sure.
I see Karen is on here, and I'm sure she's not going to mind if I mention her, but we did a webinar with her the other day. She's actually using Python Signals to to enable the disabled community. People that's got disabilities that can't do normal day-to-day works, and she's using the Python Signals platform, one for the reports and two to start her own business in order to support herself through crypto and through the Python Signals links, which is absolutely amazing.
Fantastic. Wow. Incredible things happening. Thank you, Karen. That's amazing. Yeah. On that great note, one more comment. Ian wanted to talk there.
Yeah, sorry, Marius. Would you mind, just for the sake of this video, just giving people the costs for the memberships, etc., for joining?
I don't know what the costs are. Do you want to talk about that quickly, Wendy, or Tertius, Devald, or have you got the costs?
Yeah. Look, I think the best thing is to go to the website and just check out the different packages. But essentially, it's $50 a month, and we've made, I think the lowest subscription is 3 months, because I mean you could sign up now and for 3 months the market moves sideways and you get the wrong impression. So within 3 months there'll be some movement, and give you the opportunity to make sure that you're in the right place. attend the webinars. So essentially $50 a month. That's it, guys. That's a very low entry fee. And if you're somebody who's serious about crypto and serious about just spreading the news, you come in on a 1-year subscription of $500, and then you start building from there. That's how you participate in the revenue share program. Otherwise, just come in as a subscriber, use the reports, and as Marius was saying, you can make some insane money and have the confidence and you know the fear of not knowing what's going to happen next. That just starts to disappear over time. So that's, I don't know if Devil's got anything to add to that, or Cornel.
No, thanks, Tertius. You said it well.
So Tertius,
No, it's all fine, thanks.
A year subscription is $500. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's $500, and then to participate in the RSP, the revenue sharing plan, you must just be committed to bring in 2 direct referrals to your link. That's all you have to do. Then you unlock the RSP plan.
Okay, cool.
So
and Ian, my apologies. Yeah, go ahead, Tertius.
No, if you take out a 1-year subscription, you get 2 months for free. That's essentially what it boils down to. And if you're going to build a program, you bring in your 2 people, you teach them to bring in their 2P. You just have to commit to bringing in 2 people. And if you do that within 30 days, there's some additional bonuses. But I don't think it's the purpose of this webinar to go into the detail. Guys, I want to know, that's your commitment, $50 a month and or $500 a year.
Okay, that's great. Thank you, Tertius. And Ian, my apologies. I actually don't work with the money side. I actually just only do the reports here in Python Signals. We've got an admin team who does all the finances, so that's why I didn't know what the cost really was. I know that somewhere in next year, in either year in late January, February, the price is going to go up. We don't know. I don't know what the price is. Gavin, who's the the business manager or manager of business operations, has got that worked out. So if you want to take advantage now, you can still get it at $500. The price may go up, but I can tell you this, that we will not charge $1,000 a year. We will not charge $2,000 a year. Keep in mind that much of this data is worth a lot more than just $500, guys. You will not find this price anywhere else in the world. It's affordable, and the data that we are working on now, I'm getting really excited for next year. You want to get your hands on this data. We are going to move a little bit slow, but at some point the market speeds up again and things go back to normal. And Tertius, thank you very much. Devald, Cornel, Wendy, thank you for being online. And for you, wherever
Thank you, Marius.
I really appreciate you. Victor, everybody that took time to come on, we appreciate you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Marius.
Thanks, Marius. God bless.
Thank you.
Thanks, Marius.